I didn't expect to have this review out so soon. See, last night I did my first impression stream of the game, but don't worry, I have a really good reason this time for rushing a review on a new release. See, I think it's something that you're going to call skill issue. The original Tomb Raider, as a Turkish roommate of mine in college would call it, came out in 1996 on PC, PlayStation, and even Sega Saturn, putting players in control of the beautiful Lara Croft, famed grave robber and endangered species hunter. Tomb Raider was one of the first 3D action-adventure titles, and as such is deserving of some trailblazing praise. In the Tomb Raider 1-3 Remastered collection, the first 3 games developed by Core Design way back in 96, 97, 98 are made available alongside minor quality of life changes as well as hot swap remastered graphics. I'm always pleased when a remaster allows you to switch between graphic styles because it shows that you're playing the original game rather than a remake. And in the case of Tomb Raider, this means 4K at 120 frames per second on an Xbox Series X, with an art style reminiscent of what Lara looked like in the marketing material. It's as though developer Aspyr made the Lara the tech of 1996 wasn't ready for. Yes, that's pronounced Aspyr, but since I don't have nearly 8 million idiot subscribers, I must be saying it wrong.
Those concerns this Aspyr-developed remaster?
Gamers the world over are familiar with Lara Croft. Thing is, I think the majority, like me, didn't actually play the original Tomb Raider titles on initial release. I did a stream about a year back of the Anniversary Edition, and it was okay. I think I may have rented Tomb Raider 2 from Blockbuster and didn't get particularly far, but that's really about it. I put far more time in as Lara in the Tomb Raider reboot trilogy that kicked off in 2013, sort of the closest thing to Uncharted that would come the way of the Xbox. So I don't have Lara's rose-tinted glasses with which to look back on these titles, but if the feeling is like my attempt to play Star Fox on the Super Nintendo Classic, then the sentiment must be that, like the old adage, you can't go home, well, you can't play old games. At least 3D titles from the 90s. Looking back at these relics, we can only reflect on how far we've come. Simple mechanics of today are taken for granted. You younger gamers may not even realize that there was a period in time when the third-person camera spent years in limbo as devs struggled to work out how to best present a game. This brought the short-lived and much derided tank controls. Many were playing as Lara on consoles that didn't have dual analog sticks, or even one. I think that's why when I played a Tomb Raider 2 demo disc way back when, I was able to fare decent. Far better than I am capable today, where I'm entirely unable to land the first jump in Tomb Raider 2. I think that's because modern third-person gaming is so different, it may as well be another language. Cameras are rarely viewed as an issue, our heroes automatically nail every heart-racing jump and quickly mantle over obstacles. In these original Tomb Raider games, the environment is laid out in more of a grid than what we're used to playing today and requires archaic timing of jumps that you simply will not get used to. Making matters worse, the optional modern control style is a joke, granting you the semblance of today's movements, but also removing key abilities from Lara. For example, originally Lara could perform amazing jumps to the side and backflips. With modern controls, these moves are entirely removed. Doesn't help that your dodge is the opposite of every dodge you've seen for the past 20 years, with its baked-in 180-degree turn. Gunplay was a novel solution in its time with bottomless magazine Glocks and auto-aim, but today it's seen as simplified in a way that lacks control. But you can save your progress at any time now, provided that, unlike me, you can actually progress. Look, I don't entirely fault Aspyr for how this release turned out. The team put Tomb Raider 1-3 on modern hardware, but their contribution of remasters, while offering pleasing visuals, fails to take into account modern gaming conventions. For about $30, you can relive your childhood fantasies pressed against Lara's bosom, faithfully represented in a manner now requiring a content warning, because real women don't look like this. We need positive body image. In yet another rude awakening that games are not the way you remember them. After 48 minutes of play, to my utter shock, I was granted my first ever refund from the Xbox Store. I give Tomb Raider 1 through 3 Remastered a 4.0 out of 10.
Run back to the start and try again. No, that's not right.
Thank you for watching my son's YouTube station. It's not for everyone, but he tries. Maybe if you bought some merch below, he'll eventually get good at the YouTubing.